Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Smackdown review. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this show wasn't great. It wasn't amazing, but it was better than Raw. Like, fucking 10 times better than Raw. And this wasn't even really a good show. It was decent, at least. It was bearable. Shut up, Navi. Trying to talk over here! It was a passable show. And for once, this is how low the standards have gone. I'm happy that we at least got a passable show, for fuck's sake. I'm happy that for once I could actually stand here before the YWC jury. And I'll get dislikes anyway, but I'll say it right now. Without having that fucking Baron Corbin jobber caw looking fucking motherfucker, the show automatically gets better. And if that gets me dislikes, then fucking so be it. Anyway, we start off and we've got the Wyatts in the ring, and it's so refreshing to hear a fucking Bray Wyatt promo. A promo with a bit of quality to it. Coming from a character, a guy that actually has personality for a change. And even though we've heard this time and time again that Wyatt's a god, it still felt refreshing. Believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying that. A promo we've heard before, to hear it again and it not be a Corbin promo or some type of cheesy thing about Irish lore. I can't believe that people actually were defending Baron Corbin with his fucking shitty ass little video package. Oh, Brad Corbin was on the show. He had a promo. That was not a promo, motherfuckers. That was a fucking vignette, and a shitty one at that, where it was all about his name. Who cares about his fucking name? What we're talking about is the guy himself, and the guy himself fucking sucks, and the name sucks too. Finn Balor. What? Come on. Anyway, Ambrose comes out, and he says he's not going to get in the ring because he's just going to get jumped by Rowan and Bray. But Ziggler comes out, and he shows that he's not scared. The way he looked at Ambrose, the body language, and then he just dives into the ring, and then Ambrose joins him. Ziggler accidentally kicks Ambrose, and I like how they're getting the super kick over. It's actually a move that does damage now. And you'll even see in the main event, Ziggler wins with the super kick. He's pinning people with the fucking super kick now. People were kicking out of it on Raw, and now he goes to SmackDown, and they're staying down, as they should. I mean, if Ziggler wants to go out there and wear the tights of HBK, the man who got the super kick over as a finisher, then, you have to fucking let the guy win with it, just like HBK did. It's another reason to fucking hate Raw, because they make everything, ROH style, where, one finisher ain't good enough, two finishers ain't good enough. And until you hit the guy, it's like a fucking boss battle. You got to hit him a certain amount of times to be able to win. And this was in fucking mid-card matches as well. And the Wyatts lay out Ziggler. Then we go to American Alpha. So the opening segment, it was good for what it was. I'm not going to lie and try to put SmackDown over Raw like it was something amazing. But, this was a decent way to open the show. I enjoyed it more than, the shenanigans that they showed with Jericho and Enzo for the, that very lame humor coming from Jericho's weird comedic character, whatever it is that he's trying to go for there. American Alpha beat two jobbers, and I watched WJ's review before watching this, and I didn't even recognize him. But the fucking fat boy in there was the one that looked like King Kong Bundy's son. That's what JBL said. That was MB Wrestler. And I do remember that rivalry that that WJ had with them. And I gotta say, it's congratulations to him. I don't understand why they beat the Vaudevillains last week, and this week now they gotta go back uh, and face Ham and Eggers. No offense to MB Wrestler, but why is that like ass backwards? Like, shouldn't they be facing the Jobbers the first week and then go on to a team like the Vaudevillains who would challenge New Day for the tag titles? Like, I don't understand these squash matches, and they're getting like obsessed with them. We all knew that they were coming back, but Braun Strowman every week, Nia Jax, and now American Alpha. All the tag teams came out to the ring, and they had a big brawl, but the Hype Bros just kind of stand there and do nothing. I don't know why they're putting Ziggler back in the Hype Bros. If they did the right things, they could have, Ryder as a pretty like serious singles guy, but they're not going that path. I don't understand what they're doing. They put him in NXT to be part of the Hype Bros. Take him out, make him win the IC title, have him challenge for the US title, throw him back on SmackDown, and put him back in the tag team. I don't think I've ever seen a more crazy fucking fucked up career than Zack Ryder. I mean, like I said, I gotta do another Zack Ryder rant right here, right now. This guy proved that he's over. He got all of MSG at one point to chant, "We want Ryder," and they give the guy the U.S. belt. He's more over. He's at one point he was even more over than CM Punk. Let's be perfectly fucking honest. I mean, you didn't have a whole MSG crowd chanting for CM Punk. People wanted Ryder. They were looking for fucking Zack Ryder. They were watching his internet show. He got himself over after being on Superstars and, just being a fucking ham and egger half the time. Gets himself over, and they embarrass the man on national television. Then, like, 5 years later, they bring him back out at WrestleMania just to get humiliated the very next night. So I don't understand Zack Ryder standing there in this tag team, and he's already proved so many times that he has the capability of getting over. It's just that the writing and the booking needs to be there. I mean, how much more does the guy have to prove? It's like, it's so frustrating watching him. Like, this is a guy who got himself over. But if they're not allowing him to continue that momentum, it's impossible. So this is why I always say, I don't blame the wrestlers anymore. I blame the fucking writing team. We had a little interview in the back with the Miz and Maurice. Miz, I don't know. There's been new life breathed into the Miz, because now that he's with Maurice, this just like opens up a new window for his character. So we go to a video package of I almost forgot his name for a minute, Apollo Crews. And guys, this is like not even a good challenger for the IC belt. I understand they're trying to get Apollo Crews over, and what a better way to get the guy over than working with a charismatic star like The Miz, a great heel in The Miz. But there's only one problem with that. Apollo Crews is not on the show. We've got a vignette here. We're cutting away to the vignette. And I really do not like this style. I've said this time and time again. I hate this style, like, hey, take a look at this, and then they show you a video. I mean, it's one thing if the announcers cut away to it, but like if you're storytelling and then they just throw this out there with their actual people being there, why isn't Apollo Crews sitting down at the desk and maybe they could have like a press conference? Maybe like a fake press conference to kind of copy what they do in the UFC. In those press conferences, when they put them on YouTube, they get like millions of fucking views. Remember, I forget the guy's name, but it was boxing or UFC or some form of MMA. This guy had like tattoos all over his face, and he started punking out this other guy. It was like a popular video, and then like, why can't we get that here? You know what I'm saying? Instead of cutting away to a video. I mean, I did like the segment. They cut back from the vignette, and Miz and Maurice are just like laying down on top of the table, and Renee Young's just kind of like sitting there in the middle. You know, hey Renee, you look a little lonely there. Need some company? Not from me. Okay, moving on. So we get Eva Marie. Forget about fucking Renee Young. I don't care, guys. I like Eva Marie, and she's got like that X-Pac heat. She just gets heat for her being her. And you can bash her. Oh, she's plastic. She's got fake boobies and shit. Well, I'm one of those kinds of guys where I don't really care if they've had plastic surgery or not. As long as it's not a fucking dude and they don't have a fucking wiener and they look good, hey man, come on, that ain't lowering standards or anything. It's like, you look good. Every girl puts on makeup. It's whatever you got to do to look good. If you look good, you look good. And Eva Marie, she was looking pretty bangable, I gotta say. And, she goes to the ring to face off against Becky Lynch. And I gotta talk about the presentation on SmackDown. Something, even if the show's not good, and like I said, by no means was this show good or even really decent. It was passable, I'd say. But I like the presentation they're doing here. The sidebar with the accomplishments and the weight and the height and shit like that. And why is it so taboo to list like the girl's weight and height? I don't know. I know it's rude to ask a woman for her weight and shit like that, but this is fucking wrestling. They could do a weigh-in. Don't they do weigh-ins with Ronda Rousey and the rest of those fucking UFC bitches? I don't know. But anyway, Eva Marie's top pops off, and they're doing some heat here. They're building up to her. They want you to be enraged by Eva Marie, and I feel pretty enraged in my fucking loins when I see Eva Marie. That's the only thing I got. Eva Marie gets me hot. You know, I like the heat that she gets. Anyway, her top popped off. Oh shit. You know, damn. Turn on. But anyway, Alexa Bliss comes out to challenge Becky. Distraction from Eva Marie, and I like how they had that announcer for Eva Marie. Like a pretty like cheesy sounding voiceover, like a Phil Hartman style voice. I kind of like how they did that. Like those little touches that adds a lot to the show. Like when I'm talking about like adding pizzazz to Raw and stuff, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Stylize it up. Besides changing the logo and slightly changing the set and moving the announcers, it's the same shitty ass show. But you change the graphics up, and I'm even looking like at the Wyatts and Ambrose and Ziggler coming on later that night, and the graphic of the versus screen. It looks pretty fucking awesome. It looks badass. It looks better than Raw. It looks like the same screen they've had for 10 plus years pretty much. And the thing is about Eva Marie here, getting back to her, is that the girl's got some heat, and that she is going to be the first champion of whatever they end up calling the Smackdown. I guess it's just going to be the women's Smackdown title. I don't know what else they could fucking call it. The World Women's title. Sounds actually pretty fucking shitty. Alexa Bliss wins with her finisher. Eva Marie cuts a little short promo. I like what they were doing with Eva Marie here. Nothing spectacular, but I I kind of do want to see her finally debut. If she has she'll probably have a match with Becky at SummerSlam for like the new title or whatever, and it's it's going to be interesting to see her get all that heat, especially from the internet fans who dislike her because she can't wrestle. I don't really give a fuck. Just seeing Eva Marie there is enough for me. Um, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, Brad, why don't you just go watch X videos or some shit? Well, I'll watch that too later, but I'll take a look at Eva Marie first. Thanks for the advice there, guys. Orden and Del Rio. I don't know why, but I was just happy to see Orden wrestling again here. It was an okay match. We've seen this match so many fucking times, and strangely enough, we've seen it mostly on SmackDown. When I used to do SmackDown reviews regularly, I remember reviewing this match like fucking crazy. They even had a Falls Count Anywhere match, I think, at one time. Anyway, I like how Del Rio was working his arm with the chair, but and also like during the match he was working the arm. But the thing is, it's like then the psychology just got tossed out the fucking window because like Orden starts pounding the mat with the same fucking left arm that Del Rio had been working the whole match, pounding on the fucking ground. I guess you could say he was shaking it off or something, but it's not like he's fucking HBK like during SummerSlam 2000 where he gets his back worked on the whole match and then it's just, HBK comeback magic out of fucking nowhere. The thing is, it's like, I liked what they were doing here, but I don't think they're going to complete this story. It would be interesting if Del Rio were responsible for Orden going into them, and you had like JBL talking about, I think, a little bit about the Kimura lock and how working the arm is kind of similar to the cross arm breaker, but I don't really know. They didn't really fully commit to the fact that this is what Del Rio was trying to do, soften him up for Brock and soften him up for the Kimura. And this is why they should have had probably Lesnar win more matches with the Kimura lock, because I don't think he's beaten anybody with the Kimura, to be quite honest. I think maybe he didn't beat Triple H when it at SummerSlam in 2012, did he? I think he beat him with an F5, but whatever it was kind of like the little no-sell there that bothered me, and then with the chair at the end, and then Orden hit the RKO out of nowhere. I would have liked to see, that I understand a little part at the end, but Orden banging his fist and shit like that and hitting the DDT on the same arm, at least use a different arm and like try to like make this arm hang a little bit. Get Del Rio over a little bit for fuck's sake. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Del Rio fan. I'm not the biggest Orden fan. But, like I said, they had Del Rio beat Cena and all this shit. Can they at least make him look reputable? They move him to SmackDown. They're not even going to really do anything with him. I mean, I guess they're protecting him slightly with the DQ finish. But for fuck's sake, man. He was selling the arm. And then all of a sudden, it's like no sell out of nowhere. Not RKO out of nowhere. Fucking no sell out of nowhere. Then we see The Miz jawing off the Scooby-Doo. We just had Golden... I didn't even talk about this during my Raw review. But we had Golden Truth. R-Truth was going on about flies inside the Mystery Machine. Then, they said they're going to go watch the movie together. How many fucking Scooby-Doo movies can they do with the WWE, for fuck's sake? And now The Miz drives in this car. So, I don't understand. He got done at the studio with Renee Young. Where's his wife at? I don't know where she is. Miz starts talking about Scooby-Doo that, he's going to hear from his lawyers because he's not on the cover of the Scooby-Doo, Blu-ray case. And so Scooby says that, there's Scooby snacks inside the Mystery Machine. He doesn't say it, but he kind of mimes it out. That makes sense. And The Miz goes to look inside. Scooby throws him inside, closes the door on him, and I guess he left his keys in the car, and Scooby takes the car. Meanwhile, Miz is banging on the window like he's trapped inside. Miz, you're inside a car. Remember, like when the segment first started, you got out of the car? I'm pretty sure when you were driving around, you're probably like me. You're scared of getting carjacked, and so you lock your doors, okay? But then, you stop the car and everything, put it in park, get out. You forgot your keys in the ignition. I don't know who the fuck does that, but anyway, he gets out. He unlocked the doors, right? He got out of the car, so yeah, he's in the van and everything. Well, doesn't that door work the same way? I know I said this was better than Raw, and it is. But for fuck's sake, Miz, unlock the fucking door! This guy was smart enough to win the IC belt, smart enough to become a movie star, smart enough to, be a millionaire here in the WWE. But somehow, some fucking where he's smart enough to fucking get him a Reese's pants. Holy shit. What a fucking hot babe that he got as a fucking wife. But somehow, some way, the man can't figure out how to unlock the door of a fucking vehicle. Now, I don't know what kind of locks are on there. If they're manual and you gotta, pull up the pin, slide a little thing on the door handle. Maybe you got electronic locks on that shit. I don't know how the Mystery Machine is constructed. It is a fictional vehicle. Let's be perfectly honest here. I'm not really concerned about the interior of the electronics. That's besides the point! This was really Ruby Raggy. Unlock the fucking door! This fucking segment's got me making Scooby fucking voices. This is what it brings me to? I'm looking at Eva Marie 1 minute, and then I'm looking at some dumb fuck in a Scooby suit in the next one. In the next scene. Well, what is this? I mean, this is unbelievable. Like, he's banging on the window, and instead of banging on the window, The Miz could have fucking opened. So what? So is The Miz still in the van? I bet right here at this minute, The Miz is still banging on the window of the fucking Mystery Machine. Somehow, some way, the idea is not hitting him at any particular moment that, hey, maybe I could unlock the fucking door. Because, that would make sense if, this was some type of bizarro world, like in the Superman universe, and maybe locks are on the outside of cars, and, the only way that we could get out of our vehicles if people were nice enough to let us out. Can you imagine that? Driving around, oh shit, I want to get out of my car so I can get to work. Call up the boss, hey, would you mind coming down, from the 32nd floor? I got to get out of my car. I'm going to be late. You imagine that shit? You had to rely on other people to let you out of fucking cars? What was this supposed to be a Smackdown review? I'm talking about the fucking psychology and I had to get out of a fucking car! Moving on. For fuck's sake. We got Heath Slater backstage, and he's telling Rhino that he's got 2 kids, and then he says he's making payments on his pool, and that he's got 7 kids to support. Rhino asks him what kind of pool he has, and he says now he's got 7 kids. And I found this a little bit funny. Like I said, I like Heath Slater. I like the type of character he tries to portray. He could be so much more, in WWE, but they're doing something with him here. But I don't know why they never take Heath Slater to the next level. They just rely on him for, comedic relief. And they could do that, but he could do so much more. He's shown that he's capable. He's a flexible guy. Why not reward him for doing all this goofy shit by, like, doing something special with him for a change? They spend enough time with him making him look like a fucking idiot. Maybe they could do something with him meaningful. So Rhino and Slater have the match. If Slater wins, he gets a contract. Rhino beats him. I like having Rhino on the roster, and I kind of wish that they would do something a little. There could be some interesting matches here with Rhino if you really think about it. Like Rhino versus Bray Wyatt. Like, I'd like to see that match. Like, two thick competitors going at it. Two, like, heavier guys. I'd like to see that. Or, I wouldn't mind seeing Corbin and Rhino again. Or maybe if Corbin and Rhino wanted to team up as heels. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. They offer a contract with Slater, but Slater's going on and on. He's got like 12 kids now. The number of kids keeps increasing. Shane and Daniel Bryan are ready to handle. I also got to say this. I love having Daniel Bryan and Shane there. It's so much more likable. Stephanie and the ultra serious Mick Foley are not doing it for me. I like the more laid back Shane and Daniel Bryan. Those are my kind of guys there. I like having them better as the authority figures. So those are big points for me. Slater is going off on too much of a tirade. He doesn't even want to listen to the fact that they're offering him a contract. Carmella comes out and she starts doing like a like an Enzo type of thing. And it's simply not as good. Carmella is like not even a quarter or like 0.2% as good as Enzo or Big Cass on the mic. And that's probably the reason why WWE decided to kind of, cut the ties with them. It's one thing to have like an attractive girl with them, but I don't know. Carmella looked okay in the ring. The finisher actually looks pretty realistic, like choking her out with the legs. So Carmella beats Natalya, and I guess this pretty much kills any of Natalya's momentum as a heel. Corbin is shown beating the shit out of fucking Kalisto backstage. I like that. I like Corbin's bully character. I really wish he would have been on the show. Then in the main event, you got Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler defeating the Wyatts. At the end, you had Dean Ambrose hitting the dirty deeds on Ziggler. So it was an all right main event. And overall, it was an okay show. This, for me, that main event was better than seeing Cesaro and Rusev. It had more meaning to it. Like, at least you can say that the wrestlers on SmackDown that were in the main event are actually going to be the main event wrestlers for the SmackDown side of things on SummerSlam. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor didn't even interact on Raw. Ziggler and Ambrose are interacting on SmackDown. They're getting physical with one another. They're teaming up. They're going against the Wyatts. And meanwhile, what have we got on Raw? My name is Irish, and it means that I'm a warrior. But they're not putting any effort into my character. Dun, 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 boo! 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 Yeah, fuck that shit. Put the fucking makeup back on fucking Finn. Put the fucking paint on. I keep saying this. Seth Rollins is talking about the fucking legend of Finn Balor. What fucking legend? I don't even want to hear the legend or the mythos of Finn Balor. The guy looks like a fucking generic car template. I've already said that. He is a plain Davey Richards looking motherfucker. If anybody fit the description of vanilla midget, it would definitely be Mr. Balor over there. I mean, without a fucking doubt. When Kevin Nash was talking about vanilla midgets, if that was actually a term in the fucking dictionary, I know it's 2 words, but fuck, you know, if you somehow use, if you tape the pages together of a Webster and put them together, somehow, some way, in some conspiracy fashion, would probably make a picture of Finn Balor. Just saying. But he is a demon. Anything's possible, right? Boo! Boo! Right? Let's just go boo together, right? Right, guys? Isn't that what it takes to get over in the WWE? Boom! Boom! Right? That's all it takes. Right? All you need is some shitty ass double stomp finisher. All you gotta do is beat Roman Reigns, even though you don't fucking deserve it. All you gotta do is go to get over, right? That's all it fucking takes. Don't need to show up on Raw, just have some shitty ass fucking Irish mythology little vignette that people are jacking off to for whatever reason. Oh my god! Finn Balor! Look at the guy! Ooh, I've got a leather jacket. I'm edgy. Dean Ambrose wears a leather jacket. He's not blowing my mind. He's not setting the fucking wrestling world on fire. If you would listen to any of these mamalukes in the YWC, you would think that this fucking Finn Balor was the next Stone Cold or the next Rock. And if you think I'm exaggerating, go read the fucking comments. You think I'm joking or something? No. They really worship Finn Balor. They think that this guy is like the best fucking thing ever. He's such a great wrestler. No, he's not. What has Finn Balor done? I'm watching it. I don't understand that's the style of NXT, but I'm watching him in a cage match. The guy hits the sling blade off the top of the cage, falls 15, 20 feet, and he gets right back up. Like, you know something? No, the guy's not a good fucking worker at all. Come the fuck on already with this guy. This show, there might have been some lousy shit. People don't know how to work car doors here on SmackDown. You know, not really like particularly exciting. Cena and AJ are on the you know, halfway around the world, so they couldn't be here. So that also affected the quality of the show. But the thing is, it was better than Raw. It was a lot better than Raw. And that's really saying something, because this show wasn't even that great, but it's still better than Raw. So, as far as like watching an entire show, I've like decided I'll probably still do Raw reviews, but I'm only going to do like a highlighted review of what I see on the YouTube channel. This was nice and pleasant. I was done with this show in like less than an hour and a half. I forgot to DVR it, but I found it online through, you know, questionable means. But you know, by the time it was all said and done, I watched every single vignette, every single promo, every little bit backstage, and every match, and I was done. Done like that. And I was like, that wasn't so bad. With Raw, I'm like, oh my god! Ah! Ah! And I wasn't like that, you know. Felt like I was still in perfect health. Anyway, guys, there's your SmackDown review.